much for inviting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very happy to have you here. Can you tell us a little about yourself? Who are you, and how long have you been in Gambia? Because maybe people might not know you.
Of course, and people might also think, what is this Tubab? Why is she interfering in the Gambian situation? But it is because in my heart I'm a Gambian and in my head I'm a Tubab, you know? So in my mind, I have been coming to Gambia since 2009 for 14 years.
Wow.
And I've been living there since 2018. And yeah, people used to say that I am a Gambian in a tuba body because I care Gambia so much. It's actually my home now, and Denmark is also my home. I'm in Denmark right now visiting the family. But normally I'm in Gambia most of the year, and then I only come to Denmark visiting here. And actually, I have, even though I'm a nurse, actually for many years in Denmark, I have always been involved in football in Gambia because my own son played football, and I am a football mom. You know, every day, not every day, but every weekend, I went with the boys when they played my own son. So it is a big interest in our family, this football thing. Um, that means I'm a lot involved in football in Gambia, but also now as a mental coach. I used to work as a mental coach in Denmark with psychology, mindset, and right now I'm also working together with Greater Tomorrow, TMT, and Medina. I choose these three clubs because they actually play that kind of football that Europe likes to see. They might be in the bottom of the league right now, but it doesn't matter because, my opinion, they are actually playing the kind of football we like to see, like playing the ball around. And football is a team sport; it's not an individual sport. So I'm working with them because we see often a lot of Gambians, very talented Gambians, coming to Europe. But because of lack of knowledge about the culture I can only speak for Denmark, but most of Europe is like that. They do not last because there's a big difference. When I live in Gambia since 2009, I've always been together with Gambians. I never live with Tubabs. I know exactly what is going on behind the fence of the compound. I know what is going on behind the big Gambian smile. I know everything about the culture. I know the good things. I know also the not so good things. I know about Marabu. I know about Juju. I know about jealousy. And as you can hear, I'm a person who speaks out
Yeah.
what I feel, and you are the same. I can see because there's no need to hide things because things are the way they are, and if we pretend that they are different, we are only just fooling and cheating ourselves. Because if we want to develop things, we have to face the reality. I used to work also with quality and development in Denmark, and all these things put together makes me so interested in the debate, everything that is going on now, especially in football. But I think actually what is going on right now in football is like a mirror or a
So,
picture of what is going on in Gambia.
since you came to Gambia, after coming from Denmark to Gambia, what are the things that you find it like it's difficult for maybe Gambians need to work on much more our federation? Do you think Gambian football is in a safe hand, being in the hands of this federation?
I think when I see in general, first of all, I want to say everything I'm saying now is not criticizing. Is actually because I care. And here in Denmark or Europe, where I come from, it is like when we participate, take responsibility. That means that we actually care some things, and this is why I do it. I see I see in Gambian culture. I think there is actually a lack of responsibility, and there's a lack of consequence. Gambian people are very happy, very tolerant, very positive, very peaceful, and that's all very, very good things. But if we want development, we need to pull a line. We need to take responsibility. We need to make a consequence of things because otherwise things will stay the same way as they used to. And yeah, we can take now. As an example, we can take what the Scorpions, the football players have been through now. This definitely shows a lot of lack, and this is not to criticize personally, but I just want to look at the facts. What has actually been happening? Yeah, there has been lack of organization, there has been lack of structuration, there has been lack of responsibility. Who we can ask ourselves, who was responsible for booking the flight? Who was responsible for paying out the money? Who were responsible? We have to ask these who and why and how questions if we want to develop something. And actually, I think we all agree, and I see a lot of debate. We are not happy, we are not satisfied. But I think from now on, we have to pull a line and say, okay, how can we make it better? How do we want it to be, actually? Because the responsibility is ours. And now you hear I talk like ours because I actually talk like I'm not a Gambian, I know, but
The most
so much.
important thing is the heart. You know, you feel like a Gambian, so you're welcome to be us. You
Yeah,
understand?
thank you.
But there's
Thank you
something
so
that I
much.
want to ask you. Maybe in your little the little time you spend in stay in Gambia for 15 years, maybe you understand that Gambians are the type of people when once they will have 100 problems, but once one problem is solved, they forget about the rest of the problem.
Thank
Like
you.
yes,
Thank you.
like me on TikTok, I make videos. But when I make videos talking about the federation, people really criticize me by saying, now we have to focus on AFCON. So if we focus on AFCON and now Gambia qualified to the next level, this federation will still feel comfortable in that place. So it's still, Gambia need to play, but we need to keep, continue talking about the federation. They have to step down.
Yes.
It's time. So
But,
what do you have to, talk about it now?
yeah, but Fons, the thing is, we have to be honest, and maybe I offend some people, and I'm very sorry if I do. But Gambians, and now I talk in general. That's not fair because, but that is easier for me. Gambians are scared. They are scared. They are scared of. They are scared of speaking their mind. They are scared of being alone. They are scared of not following a group. They are scared of telling their opinion. And this is where we have to start with the mindset. And I understand why it is like that. You know, there has been like many years of dictatorship where a Gambian could not even have their own opinion. Maybe you had your opinion, but you didn't speak it out. So it's something that has to be awakened again somehow. And I think it is because of fear that people do not like to speak their mind. I see discussions sometimes when I have an opinion or somebody else has an opinion, they say, "Oh, you're a stupid man." They get it. They make it personal, and this is actually the problem. I think that we have to talk about the matter, not being personal, because just because you, Fams, has a different opinion than me, does not change you as a person. You are still not stupid. You are still not rubbish. What you're saying, but Gambians have a way of they always want to agree. And no, if we all want to agree, we don't go
It's true.
anywhere. Development is disagreeing. Denmark was the state of Gambia 75 years ago. I remember when I was a kid, and I'm 56 years old now. When I was a kid, I visited my grandfather. There was no toilet in the house. There was no electricity. There was no water. We had to go and it was exactly the same as it is in Gambia, some places now. How did Denmark develop? To be one of the most developed countries with the highest welfare. Yeah? How? Because my father said, okay, to his father, maybe you did your very best, but now we need changes. Something has to be changed now because we cannot continue this way. I said to my parents, we have to keep on changing. My sons, who are now adult, they also say, yes, you did your very best, but now we have to develop. And I cannot take it as an offense. I can just be proud of my kids saying, hey, we want to keep on developing Denmark. But in Gambia, I see the opposite. Actually, you can take like when a Gambian grows up, if you ask your father or your teacher or your elder a question, sometimes you will be slapped or they will be like, hey, who are you to question me? Who are you to disrespect me? Hey, this is not disrespecting. This is just showing that this kid is curious and curiosity leads to development.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I find it so interesting. I know a lot of people in Gambia, and I love talking to them, and they love talking to me because we have this debate. We have to dare speak out our opinion without being
Mm-hmm.
personal. And we need also to teach all Gambians in general that it comes from home. It comes from the compound. How can GFF, and it's not like that, but how can, if we are not satisfied with them, how can GFF still be there? Because nobody dare to go against. Because nobody dare to say, hey, you are not competent for that position you're in, because then somebody knows the family of that person and they are family here and there, and if you do this, no, you have to vote for my son, because if you don't do that, then you know we cannot respect you, we will abandon you. All these kind of things, is actually putting Gambia down, my opinion.
I have another question for you. Okay, in your stay in Gambia, did you ever have like associated with the federation? Did you ever try to work with them?
Actually, I had contact. I used to go and watch all the first league games, yeah, and then I went to Serekunda East. That field, I was like, so by coincidence, I know somebody who is family with somebody in GFF, and I said, oh, I would like to talk to that guy. So I had a call, and then I was like, yeah, I want to invite you on Saturday for a game in Serekunda East. He said, okay, that was one from the GFF. He said, okay, why? I say, you know what? That field is more for cows than it is for football players, and it is not according to the FIFA rules. And we all know that.
They don't want to hear this because they
Listen, please listen. I want to continue. And they say, hey, come on, this is embarrassing. I say, I had just had guests from FC Midtjylland in Denmark watching games here. And I say, I feel so, as a half or a Gambian, I feel so embarrassed to show them the FIFA Go project. It looks like something from the Second World War. I say, come on, please, mister, you know we can do better. And if you dig really deep into your pockets, I know you can also find money for it, or at least you can cut the grass. When I came there, actually the grass was cut. And the next week after, there was also like putting lines around it. So it helps. It does. We just have to dare to speak our mind. And if we do it constructively, fans, then we can say anything. We can say anything. But if we get personal and we start fighting each other, and I even see people in Gambia throwing stones at each other. I say, hey, what's going on? Yeah, because he's an idiot. He says that. I say, come on. You cannot start throwing stones at somebody just because you don't have the same opinion. See it as a gift to meet people with a different opinion, because this is where we can start developing.
You know,
there
is something why most of them can't understand us. If you leave Gambia and you're a little bit smart and you come to abroad here, your mindset and the mindset of people in Gambia is a bit different. Maybe they might not want to hear this, but you're a little bit ahead of them, but they will not understand. So that's why sometimes when I make a video and speak, people look at me as a fool. They look at me like he loves talking. It's not because I love talking, but I want my country to move. I want the next generation to come and enjoy football in Gambia. So, and you know, it's really crazy. I know you know a lot about Gambia. Maybe, you know, you left Gambia not long ago and you spent, you know, a huge amount of years in Gambia. So what do you think will make us Gambia to develop? Is it our mindset or?
I think actually it is a mindset, but I also think that it is fair. Like a mental coach and working with psychology, everything that we do not know as human beings, we are scared of it. And we would rather stay in a very, very bad condition that we know than we would dare to take a step into something that we don't know. And that means every time you say something, Fams, you speak to their unconsciousness, and deep down they know exactly, but they are scared. That's my opinion. They are scared to make that step. So what we have to do is actually try and be good examples. Yeah, try and show them and say, hey, you can speak your mind in a constructive, respectful way, and you can actually achieve some things. And I think it is because you also started by saying, yeah, but how come now everything was a mess and now finally they made good and then everything will be forgotten? Because that is going back to your comfort zone. And Gambians like to be in the comfort zone because they are scared. They are scared of being out of their comfort zone where actually the development is. And it is lack of knowledge. What I don't know, I have to be taught. I didn't know how to go online with this, so you had to teach me today. And I have to be open, and I have to make myself vulnerable, telling you, hey, I don't know how to do these things. And if we are not open-minded and dare to be vulnerable, but how can you be vulnerable and show that you're vulnerable in a culture where people take advantage of it. Of course, you are not vulnerable because you know that if you tell your weaknesses, they might use it against you.
Yeah.
So everybody's protecting themselves, and this is natural, but we need to have trust. I work with that on the football teams also. I say, hey, you're depending on your teammate. Don't criticize or blame them if they do something wrong. Encourage them and lift up everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we in Gambia is much like individuals. Yeah, we need one attacker. He's very good. You just go by yourself. No, football is a team sport, and you are never better than the rest of the team. You know it, and you cannot put everything on one person. And these are the interesting aspects of the Gambian culture. I definitely find it so interesting, and it is knowledge. And sometimes it is by showing people that it is actually possible to make a change, even though you do it in a kind way, a respectful way, decent way. It is possible. But I think they need to see examples so that they are not that scared.
Yeah.
Just to see, oh wow, it actually is working. Yeah. And then another thing is that Gambians also have to decide, do they want a change or don't they want a change? If they want a change, then you also have to do something different. Because if you keep on doing what you used to do, you will always get what you had. So if you want a change, you cannot complain, but when it comes to making a change, you say, no, you don't take responsibility. That's not fair. If Gambians say, okay, we want a change, then let's go make a change. But then also be ready to hear the things that you do not like to hear. I met a GFF person at the Serekunda East that day. I was talking. He said, hey, who are you? I told about me. And then he said, I want to work with you because actually we have some workshops for coaches. I say, but I'm not sure I want all the coaches in that workshop. He said, why? I say, because I don't actually, to be frank, I don't feel like wasting time on those coaches who are only there for themselves, who are only there for their own career, who actually use the players just to be number one in the first league, or to be the coach of the year. I say, I want to work with these coaches who are there to develop players, who are there to develop the players for giving them a chance to go to have a career in Europe. And he said, yeah, but definitely. I say, I would like to work with you, GFF, but I know I will say some things that you will not like to hear. He said, what? I said, yes, there will be things I'm saying because I speak out my mind and you will not like to hear them and your colleagues would also not like to hear them. And he said, okay. And FAMS, this is what I always do. I just tell them what is the worst case in getting to know me. That is that I might say something you don't like to hear. Then I already somehow warn them. And if they want to keep collaborating, that's good. Now we know the conditions.
Yeah.
This is how it is. And
strong conditions if you want to collaborate with somebody, much more somebody with different mentality. And what I understand, we cry for change. The new generation, we say change. But there is something that these people, most of these football leaders are politicians. And likewise, when you go to other countries, their football leaders are former football players. It's like you want to use a doctor for a trained driver. You know, that is not proper. It will never work. So at the end of the day, now, I don't know if you realize that Gambians, these federation people, they are buying most of these first division clubs. But
I know.
Yeah. So when they buy these clubs, it's going to be difficult to win against them when elections comes. This is the problem we are facing.
Good. Now again, let's go back and say, now let us focus on the matter, not on the people. Yeah? And the responsibility is ours. I am so happy because in Gambia, as I say, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of young people also. I know a lot of people studying at university. I know a lot of bright young Gambians, and I'm so happy to see that they have the same opinion as us. I used to tell them, you are the one, because they all say, yeah, you see, it's this government. I say, no. It is you, because you are the one responsible for the government in this country. Yeah? And if you don't like that government, then make another one or vote for another one or go even make your own party. Go and do something and take responsibility for Gambia instead of just running away from Gambia. Yeah? Make it, create it, stay there. What if our forefathers had left Denmark 75 years ago? Then this would still be without electricity, without water, without anything. No, you have to stay and take responsibility. And the same is, we need some clear lines, Vams. We need some rules, because I'm not aware that in Denmark you can be member of the DBU and then you can also be involved in some football teams, because that is actually having a leg into in two camps, and that then you're not a neutral person, is it? So we have to look more factual, more objective on things, and say, okay, what is it actually we expect from the GFF? What do we expect from our national coach? What do we expect from the technical staff around them? And all these expectations, only those people who can fulfill them, who have the competences for that, they can have that position. And not because you know somebody who knows somebody and you can bribe somebody to do this and blah, 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 blah. No, this is leading to nowhere. And if Gambians still want it that way, it's fine with me, but then don't complain again. Don't ever complain again. But if you don't want it, then you have to dare to get out of your comfort zone, just bit by bit, so that you feel comfortable with it. And all of a sudden you can see the changes there. But we have to dare open our mouth and speak our mouth and respect each other. We have to respect each other for having a different opinion. We should not be all the same in Gambia having the same opinion, because then we go nowhere. It's all about having new ideas. Open up and say, wow, thank God I have a neighbor. She's full of good ideas that can develop our area, you know? So,
did you know that the federation, sometimes they block people like me and other people like who speak different minds?
Hey, Farms, this is dictatorship. This is dictatorship. And I'm not afraid of speaking that word, because this is what it is. That is dictating somebody to be allowed to comment. And this is not democracy. This is not freedom of speech. This is not okay. And actually, you can say whatever you want about a politician or a GFF member or even the president, as long as you don't put that person's life into danger, or you are not making a threat on that person's life. You have the freedom to speak your mind. But of course, I will encourage people to also be constructive. Yeah, telling people that they are stupid and things like that. No, let's put the debate on the argumentation up on a higher level than that, and focus on the matter. Yeah, and it is not okay to block. It is not okay, but that shows that that shows a lack of ability to look at yourself. If I am in any job I had, and also in the position I have now, I have to look at myself all the time and say, what can I do better? And if I only think that I'm the only one doing things right, and then I block everybody else from having their opinion about me, then I live in a fake world. I think, actually, it tells more about GFF, dear GFF members, that's my opinion, than it tells about the whole population. Because if a GFF member, if they are really, really comfortable with what they are doing themselves, and they are proud of themselves, why should they be afraid of any comments then? So for me, it shows more about that they try to protect themselves from a truth that they know deep inside. But they are doing the same as we just talked about is general in the Gambian culture. We just close our eyes, we make a new reality, we forgive, we do as if things did not happen, because we are scared of facing the reality. So everything goes around, and it is the same pattern everywhere in the Gambian society. Yeah.
Like when it comes to Europe, you know, in Denmark. So if I would take an example by you, if you were like the president of the federation, and you understand that even whenever you make a post in the comment section, that because normally the comment section says the people who like you and the people who hate you. So if the comment section is here, we want to see you down, we don't need you. As a true lover of the country, what do you think you have to do?
Look, I noticed that you say people who loves and people who hates. No, Fams, we have to get away from that. This is not about loving or hating people. This is about having an opinion about a matter. Yeah. So I can disagree with the GFF, but that does not mean that I hate them.
Yeah.
And we have to stop putting these things like the emotional things and keep it up here in the intellectual way of saying, hey, what you guys are doing, we don't like that. This is not what we want from GFF. We want you to protect our players. So what I would tell GFF last week was, how could you let them down like that? How can you let them down like that and then expect them to go and do something good for their country? They did it because these boys, they are pure in heart and they are strong in mentality, yeah, and they are professionals. But how do they feel deep inside? Huh? How would you feel deep inside if your country, GFF, and the government or whoever is responsible, let them down, put them into fear, trigger them? It's not nice what they have been through. They have not been respected. They have been. That has been a threat on their life. Being in a plane without oxygen, that is a threat of their life. And then still, they are capable of putting that behind, being professional, go out and perform. That is one thing.
Yeah.
But GFF, how could that happen? How could that happen? Who's responsible for it? How will people make sure that this will never happen again? This is what we want. Can these people who are in GFF, can they promise us that they will do better now? If not, then please step down, because this is not about you, GFF. This is about the football players. This is about our national team. And I have to be big enough, great enough as a person to say, hey, if I cannot give the very best that is needed, then I have to step down and let others come in so that everything can be lifted up. Otherwise, it is too selfish.
Yeah, this is what
Otherwise, my opinion.
I was trying to say. I was not talking about the hate or the likes. I was saying, if you know, as a federation leader, but at the end of the day, you understand that the population don't want me here. As a good citizen, what do you think they have to do?
Of course, they have to be realistic about their own performance ability. Of course, they have to say, okay, we hear what you say. They could get into a debate. They could actually be open-minded and try and learn. I am working with coaches every day in Gambia, those who are open-minded. I am also coaching the coaches, how to interact with the players, how to bring the best in them, how not to direct them what to do and not to do, but let them play the game and coach them. Coaching is actually to lead somebody through somewhere, and it is not. Of course, I would look at myself if I was the president of GFF. I would look at myself and then I would say, "Am I doing this good enough?" Maybe they are right, yeah. But it has something to do with self-insight, that you dare to look at yourself and not always blame everybody else. It is so easy to put the responsibility on others, and this is what is happening here. They don't take responsibility for their own actions and their own behavior. That is my opinion. They don't, and they have to.
I would love for you to make this one clear, because a lot of Gambians don't really know about flights. So some people think, you know, when the flight lose oxygen. I saw some comments from my page, TikTok, on Instagram. Some of them are even bullying the players, saying, you know, the players used to live in Gambia, it's more hot, the cars. Can you tell them the difference between a flight that lose oxygen and a car, you know, driving in a, I can say, 40 degrees temperature? The risk.
Of course, there's a big. Now I'm a nurse too for 30 years, so of course I know the difference in that. When you're in a car with 40 degrees, you have plenty of oxygen. You have plenty of oxygen. The thing is just that the air around you is very hot and you will be sweating and you will lose a lot of water and liquid from your body and you will not feel good. But when you are in a plane with no oxygen, that means that there is no oxygen coming into your blood. Your brain can only use two things. That is sugar and oxygen, nothing else. It cannot use proteins, it cannot use fat, it cannot use anything. These two things are the only things a brain needs. Huh? So what if then, if you don't have the oxygen? Then you really have a problem. And this is serious, serious, serious conditions, because lack of oxygen is what the body needs to survive. Yeah. Of course. And this is and that is one thing, but the other thing is also the psychological thing about it. Imagine to be up there in the air and suddenly you feel like dizzy, you get headache, you feel like there's not enough air for you to breathe. it's pretty far down. You know, it takes some time before you get down. There's a fear. Of course, you get scared.
Yeah.
Everybody would get scared like that. So they cannot compare that at all. But those people who are comparing it to a car in 40 degrees, it's because they don't know
Yeah.
better. Yeah. But then again, if they wanted to develop, why not ask and say, is it not the same as being in a car, instead of um, saying that it is, you know? Why not open up and start
Yeah.
asking questions
Yeah.
instead of all the time saying it's like this, it's like this, it's like that?
You live
No, ask and
you
you.
living in Gambia for a few years. I don't know, for 15 years. You know that you know the attitude of Gambian even more than me. You know we are trained not to speak even at the worst times. We are built different. Gambian, you know, most of our parents teach us this. Even at the hardest time, don't speak. And if you don't speak, you never get change. We're gonna stay in the same. You know, right now, I will tell you one thing. If Gambia won against Senegal yesterday, I told you, I promise you, the people from the Gambia will forget about this federation. Yes,
Yes,
because we are like that. If one thing goes right, we forget about the 10 things that does not go right. That's why we are still behind. And now people like me, we come to the media, we start speaking. You know, people use it against us, but I don't really care. You know, what I care about is our country change. It's time for us to
yes,
speak. If we
yes.
keep keeping quiet like this, I don't see Gambia nowhere. And I will ask you another question. Did you think Gambia, you know, have a future, you know, with this federation? Like financial crisis, we don't have proper pitches. But at the end of the day, they said they already built 14 pitches in Gambia in the
Uh,
in the.
I already commented on that also. 40 interventions and 14 pitches. I don't care. We want to see a budget, and we want to see an accountment annual. We want to see what is going in GFF and what is spent in GFF. And that is a responsibility you have when you are in a federation. Yeah, because you are chosen to be in that federation, taking that responsibility. And that means it should be open to everyone, because this is democratic. This is not a dictatorship anymore. Maybe the GFF started under Yahya Jammeh, where it was like a dictatorship, and they could decide themselves what does the population have to know and what do they not have to know. But look, this is democracy now. Yeah. So we all have the right, or the Gambians all have the right to know what money is coming in and what money is going out, with evidence, please. Not because you know somebody who can make a fake invoice or a fake this and that. No, it has to be definitely with evidence. And then a budget. It cannot come to one surprise that there is an AFCON. Huh? I think it's planned every 2 years. Huh? So how can they suddenly say, we don't have any money? Hey, you had 2 years to collect money for that next AFCON. And from now on, you have 2 years again. So this is where you put your budget and you say, in 2 years, we will need this amount of money. How can we get that amount of money?
But
And then show
did you
up what is coming in and what is
did you
spent.
know some our federation members, some they don't really focus on football. If you don't have the knowledge, you can't lead a football federation. They will be in politics today. If the politics they fails, they did not win, and they come back to football. And this is something
Yeah,
that we need
but
to talk about.
again, it again is again, fams, what do we want? We have the chance now. What do we want now? What do we expect from the federation? What do we expect from the members of the federation? What do we expect of the national team coach? What do we expect of the players? What do we expect of the spectators? What do we expect down to from bottom to top, I want to say. Yeah? It is all about what do we expect from them. Do we want a GFF where the members at least need experience in what they are talking about? So at least they should have a little experience about football. Or those who are in responsible for the budget and accountment, at least maybe they should have a little experience in that from a bank job or from something else. Yeah, we need to put qualified people into these positions if we want it to be quality. Another thing is the mindset. There was one picture, I had to post it. The one picture where the team is pictured on the stairs to the flight, the plane. When I saw that picture, I definitely felt something in my heart, because I saw all the staff in front, huh? And then all up in the back. I could hardly see them. The players were there. Please tell me, Gambia, who are the main characters in this? Who are the main characters? What is GFF without a national team? What is GFF without football players? What is Gambian football without players? We have to know who are the main characters in this. And the main characters are the players. So put them down in front and put yourself behind GFF and technical staff. I know that technical staff is the one leading the players to perform, but at the end, it is the player himself who is performing.
Because of the lack of leadership knowledge, did you knew that our football fans were on the stands trying to enter in the pitch, and they were struggling. They literally went to live for people like me to speak about them, that they're stuck outside and they are stopped. They want to go outside. And they did not see any member of the federation there. And by right, every group of fans need to have some football from someone from the federation to guide them to get inside the pitch, inside the stadium.
Hey, this is what we need: solidarity. We need solidarity. We need somebody, because if I was the president of this federation, as you asked me before, this is my responsibility that our fans are treated good. Come on, because they are so important for the national team, and they are the ones that I want to perform. So I have to create, as a president or a GFF member, I have to create the best conditions for this team. But the thing is, they don't do that, but they expect. And that is typical. I have to say again, sorry, Gambia, but this is typical. In Gambia, people expect and expect and expect. And I'm like saying, hey, what goes the other way? What are you giving? What you have for me? My uncle in UK, he's not even sending me money. I say, hey, Lamin, why are you not doing something for yourself? No, you see, this is our family traditions. This is our culture. I say, how can you expect to get something without doing something yourself? Where I come from, this is not happening. If I want something, I have to make an effort myself. And here is like, no, GFF says we don't have to do anything special. We just close our eyes. We do as if we don't know these fans are in trouble, but still we expect the team to perform well. Yeah, but why not make sure then? Why not sacrifice yourself? This is what we need. If you want development, you need people who are willing to sacrifice themselves and their own needs for a case, for a matter. And that is what is like, my opinion.
So what do you think? What do you think the greatest favor Gambian football lovers and Gambian members can do for themselves against this federation? I'm not saying let them fight, because Gambians also have an attitude of, when we say change, we go outside and destroy our own properties. You understand what I mean? And you can say change without fighting. You can say change without destroying places. And this is a very important thing that I know you knew about this. Can you say something about it?
Yeah. I think, again, we have to focus on the matter. We have to say, okay, we are not happy with this. No, Gambians are not happy with this. So we have to find out now, how can we make it better? How do we want it to be? So I always look objective on things. I would say, if it was me, I would say, okay, I want a GFF with this. I want a GFF with different positions. And we have to know what is actually expected from the president, what is expected from the secretary, what is expected from each one of the member. And I don't care which names are there. I care the position itself and what is expected from a president. And only the person who can fulfill these expectations can have that position. So that means I don't care if it is if Kababacho can still do it, it's fine. If he cannot do it, then he will have to go. You see? So for me, it doesn't matter who it is, as long as the position is occupied by somebody who can do it. I don't care who is doing it, because this is about having a position or having something done that somebody is capable of doing. And again, I don't want to be personal, but we just have to make sure that the people in future who are in this GFF or in any position, the coach, the technical staff, what about the technical staff? How much experience do they have in football? Huh? Who are they to sit there on the bench and giving good advice about what? With which experience? Just your opinion? I would tell myself, no, I could maybe give them good advice about some mental coaching, but I do not even feel like I'm competent to that. So I have to be realistic about myself, yeah. So it is about looking at the positions and then say who can lift that, who can lift that task, who can do it, and then let us see the person doing it. And we have to focus much more on the matter than we have to focus on people and persons and who we like and who we don't like and who we know and who we don't know and who we owe something and who we don't owe anything. Hey, we cannot, we have to put all these things aside. Look at now the president, he gives a diplomatic passport to all of them. Yeah, that's fine, thank you. It doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything. Okay, now we take it from here because, hey, this should have been done before. This should have been done before to create the way for them as easy as possible. These players, farms, they come from European clubs, clubs abroad, where they are used to professional conditions. Yeah, they are leaving their club, their career in Europe. They are leaving it to go and represent Gambia. First of all, they do not have a stadium in their home country. They cannot even go from, let's say, Denmark or Germany or wherever to Gambia and receive their opponents for a test game or something. No, they have to go to Morocco or they have to go to, I don't know where, just to play a game. Hey, how can we have them being patriots, doing something good for Gambia, if we cannot even give them a place where they can call their home to receive? They have to go abroad and be guests in other countries, even though they are national players. But they have their home in Europe already. They have their life in Europe already. And they are still leaving all that behind to go and represent the country because they love Gambia. And then they are put through these conditions. This is simply not, this is not okay. And then again, you come and they say, okay, we will not pay you your bonus. Hey, these guys, they live abroad. They live outside Africa. They know exactly what their rights are. And everything that happens around them, farms, it is like embarrassing for them. It is humiliating because the standard, and I don't want to belittle Gambia, but definitely the standard they are used to in Europe is much higher, and we have to go into their head also and their feelings and see what is it actually that they can compare with, you know, and it is embarrassing for them, and we can do better. Gambia can do better with the right people.
But we have this mindset of people saying they are Gambians, so they have to sacrifice for the country even if they are not paid.
Thank you very much. Now you come to something that is very, very important. And now again, I don't want to offend anybody because I don't have anything against other religions. I'm a Christian myself. I live with the Muslims and I live with people with the Gambian culture. I often have discussions or talks with the more elder Gambian, especially men. I like sitting down talking to a lot of these taxi drivers, and I say to them, how come you treat your eldest son like you do in the families? I say, because I think it's a little hard to be a lamin sometimes. And then they say, yeah, but you see, it says, I don't know if they say, it says in the Quran or it says in our culture that actually you have to harden them. They have to suffer, they have to struggle, because the more you do that, the stronger they get, the more they can face. I say, no. I have two sons, 29, 25. They are independent, young, sympathetic men. I pushed them when it was necessary, and I helped them when it was necessary. I never put them into any special struggle, but it is a belief that the more you struggle, the more strong you get. No.
You know, most of the people in Gambia, I'm born in Gambia, and I started, knowing about, I don't want to get to the religion. I started knowing about Islam more. Then I realized most of our parents don't really know about Islam. They just born Muslims, you understand? But if you know about Islam, really, you know that it's soft. You need to be, realistic. Islam don't want fake. So, but are we really realistic to ourselves? So are we really following Islam? We're not following the part of Islam. Most of us are just born Muslims or Christians. But to be frank, if we want Gambia to change, we have to start respecting people's point of views on things. If I come and say Gambia's performance was not good, you don't have to insult me. You don't just have to say, bro, I disagree with you respectfully. But they will say, oh,
Yeah,
you something. Sorry to say this. They will come to your comment, insult your mom for speaking your mind.
exactly. And and this is lack of capability of discussing on a constructive level, you know. And again, when it comes to, of course, I know we are touching something very fragile here. It is about this with the religion. No, actually, something that wonders me a lot is that if it says in the Quran, it also says in the Bible, you cannot lie. How come that we can lie to ourselves like that?
So
I just asking, how come we can do that? If it says that you have to be kind and you cannot be judgeful towards other people, how come that you can tell all these lies about your neighbor? How come that you can make so many bad things for each other in a country that says that they are majority of Muslims living by the Quran, praying 5 times a day with all respect? But then also show that attitude, please. Show that attitude that the Quran is actually telling. I just don't understand how people can be so wicked towards each other. How can a mother eat all the money of her son working in Europe or wherever, or whatever this eldest son brings home? How can you do that? Does it say anywhere in the Quran that this is how you have to treat your son? I don't see it. And maybe they say, no, it is a culture. I say, fine, but then let the culture follow the religion that you are, or you find out how you can combine these two, because otherwise it is not authentic. My opinion.
I will not even be sorry to say this. I think in Gambia, it's 95% of Muslim. But I can say 85% of Muslims are just born Muslims, but they don't really know their religion. And the 5% of the other religions also are just born. But because if you say you're a good Christian, you don't have to hate your neighbors. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to fight them.
No.
Same thing. If you say you're Muslim, you don't have to hate you don't have to lie. You have to be realistic. Islam only teaches Islam says, be kind to your parents. And Christianity say the same. But Islam says, even my mom is wrong, I have to call my mom and tell my mom, you're not right. You are wrong here. So our parents use Islam against us to punish us. So that's why it's right for you, me, and the younger generation to go learn Islam, go learn Christianity and understand the real meaning of Islam and Christianity. Then when your mother is said tell you that, okay, you have to marry this guy by force, and you tell your mom about the Prophet ﷺ says, you don't have to force us to get married. I have to choose who I want. So if she says no, you can open the Quran. You said, this page says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this, Prophet says this, or Jesus says this. So they will learn from you.
Exactly.
So that's why I say most parents are just born Muslims, but they know nothing about Islam. So
exactly. And I think no matter what religion forms, it is all about, again, responsibility. Because what wonders me as a mother myself, what wonders me is how, I don't say it's right or wrong. It wonders me how a Gambian mother can think that her son owes her everything just because she gave birth to him. I have 2 sons. They don't owe me anything because they are the greatest gift I ever had in my life. So they don't owe me anything. They owe me love and they owe me respect. And that I can be proud. That is what they owe me. But despite from that, no. And again, I think it is about responsibility. It is about, you can lean back in the Gambian culture and you can say, okay, it's not my responsibility anymore. We put it on. Let's go back to the lamin in the compound. Even the sisters are sitting at home. I want new nails. I want new hair. I want new shoes. Can you buy me a dress for Tobaski or whatever? And I'm like, hey, Awa, get out. Do something yourself. Don't depend on your brother. No, but you see, he's the eldest. He's supposed to do this. And this is actually, I feel a little sad for the Gambian people. And I feel sad for a sister. Like that, because they never learn to take responsibility for their own life and make a difference. And the whole culture is like built up on being depending on others and letting some few struggle for a lot. No, we have to lift this together. We have to lift it together. And the more hands lifting. Look at it. I will touch another very, very fragile subject now. It is the back way, boys. It is the same to say, it's because of the government, they are not doing this. I say, hey, it's not only the government. It is also the culture and what is going on in the compound. How come that you are not a whole family trying to make this compound run? Yeah? How come it is only one who is responsible for bringing all the money into that, buying the cash power, for the fish money, for everything there, for dresses for everyone, I can name it. Yeah. How come that you do not stick together as a family? There can be members up to, 10, 15 people in one compound. If they all contribute with $10, 15, that's $150, and that is only $10. If you take it 100, then it's 1,500. It is all about being responsible, and we have to stick together to be responsible, because if we keep fighting each other, we will not go nowhere. I tell the football players that I'm coaching mentally, hey, you can go yourself like a little Messi, but if you don't play together with your team, you will go nowhere, because you cannot continue being the little Messi and run through 3 defenders, because there's no future in that. We have to see we have to stick together if we want to be strong. We have to stick together, and if a whole compound sticks together, and the money that is used for taking the back way was used in investing in a business instead, and the whole family would support that one, that would be a nice future for that family. But again, it's lack of responsibility. No, you see, it's not easy for our young people, and it is not easy, but still try and take responsibility. Let us not go all to Europe, but let us build a Europe in Gambia. Gambia is the most beautiful place in the world. Small country with everything that Denmark, they are envying me. They are, wow, you're living there with a nice beach and the palm trees and happy people and music and everything. We have everything in Gambia. Come on. We have everything, and it is so small. It is easy. It is easy with the right people to develop that country. But let us have some of the people with the knowledge of democracy in. Yeah? Please. Those who know how to run a democratic country, so that people dare to speak their mind, and that you are not blocked, or the journalists are not afraid of speaking their mind, because then the government will close down a radio station. Hey, come on. You cannot close down anything. They have freedom to speak, and they have to get used to that. Dictatorship is finished in Gambia. It's finished.
Do you think we have journalists in Gambia?
We have journalists. I know some, and they have a very good opinion, but they are afraid of speaking their mind in public, because they say tomorrow they will close our radio station, or there will be sanctions against us. And it is because of fear. Again, we are back again, Farms, to where we started. It is because Gambia is, my opinion, ruled by threat and fear, both from the government and down, but also among the people themselves. You are threatening people. You are scared of having your opinion. If you have an opinion or you have success, people will take you down instead of encouraging you. Yeah, and this fear and threat is an obstacle. It's an obstacle to development. Yeah, we have to believe in each other. We have to believe and know that we have to live this together, because we can have a lot of individual people, individualists, but then we also have the Gambia we have today. Is that what we want? No, we want a change. That means we have to stick together. That is democracy. That is sticking together and lifting up together, I think.
So did you have some boys in Gambia, or did you have some youth that you believe the future with them is bright about Gambian football?
Oh, I am together with them every day. There are a lot of them. Definitely, Gambia has so much talent. And right now, when I'm in Denmark here, I'm in contact with the Superliga clubs. I'm telling them, I'm inviting them to come visit me and the rest of Gambia when I go back home, to see all the talents. Of course, they have talent. And you can ask these boys that I'm working with every day in these football clubs. They are like, I'm just trying for them to understand that the mindset they have to be on time. 5 minutes too late and you have no chance in Denmark. They will just tell you to go home from training again. Yeah, I'm telling them to keep quiet when the coach is talking. Yeah, this is respect. Keep quiet when somebody is talking. We cannot be 15 people talking at the same time and listening also. So I'm teaching them the mindset. The talent is there, Frans. They are so good, talented football players. Definitely, they can, and they are used to play under different conditions than we are used to in Denmark and Germany. Yeah? They are used to play in 40 degrees during Ramadan without eating, without drinking. They are sweating, and then they come to better conditions that will make them even much better. Yeah, because they know how it is to struggle. And here it is a benefit to come from from worse conditions to better conditions. But they are so talented, definitely. And I want, that is my mission here. I want Denmark and Europe to open their eyes more for the Gambian players and not only those from Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, or Senegal, because we have the talent. We have the talent, but what we are lack of compared to Senegal is the organization. It is the ability to sell ourselves, to organize ourselves, to benefit from those Gambians who have already been outside. Let's take Kaba. I know sometimes he's also on live with you. 15 years in Sweden, yeah, knowing what is going on, has been playing as a top player. These people with that knowledge, both being a Gambian, but also having the knowledge of how things are running in Europe, these people, Gambia needs them. And there are more of him and his teammates. Yeah, there are so many who have been in Europe having experience from there.
But
let's take them home to Gambia and let them help to develop this one. They know how to do it. Definitely.
Did you know Gambians don't believe in themselves? Self-confidence and self-belief is lacking in Gambia. That's why we're still behind. If you put Kaba and somebody who is not from Gambia, they were going to take somebody who's not from Gambia. We don't believe in our people. And it's time for us to give chance to people who love football, not people who are there to be rich. We put people.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You right now, when you live in Gambia, I know even there is no car, you can still walk for 2 kilometers to watch football, even because you love the game in your heart. But none of the federation members will walk from Serekunda to Lamen to watch a zonal final because they don't have love for the game. So
exactly,
the leadership of people who are leading the country because they want to be rich, and the people who love the country to move the football to the next level is two different things.
Yeah, and now we talk again about matter and personality, and we talk about passion. Why do we do it? Why do we do things? I ask the football players I work with, so you want to be a professional? They say yes. I say, why? Why do you want? You have to know why you want to be a professional. You have to know why you want to achieve that target or that goal you have. And you have to also know, how do I get there then? But why? And I would like to ask these why and how questions to the GFF. I would not criticize them. I would love them all to be here in my living room right now, and I would be so curious to ask them, how do you think things are going right now yourself? I will not even tell them. I would just be curious to know, what do you think you have done to achieve this and this and that? What is the most important for you as a GFF president or a GFF member? Let them think themselves, like I try to make the football players think themselves, or teach the coaches. What do you think you have to do on that field? What do you think is expected? What would be smart to do, instead of telling them all the time what to do? Hey, we need people who can think themselves, have a plan, have an opinion about things, and then I will correctify them. If they are like, no, but then the coaches say, then they will just start doing something that they should not. I say, this is where the coaching comes. You have to guide them. Coaching is guiding, yeah, but don't dictate. Don't dictate people what to do. Hey, you have to go to the right or to the left. The player is totally confused because he wanted to go to the right and the coach is shouting, hey, go to the left. I say, hey, keep quiet. Don't tell him where to go. He has been seeing and playing football since he was 5 years old, that boy. He knows exactly what he wants and he knows his abilities. So trust the player. Trust. It is about trusting that together we can do it, and we need each other to do it, to be together to do it. We cannot do it.
Yeah.
One man cannot do it.
Did you realize yesterday, the boy who scored the 2 goals for Senegal, those lovely goals, is just 19. And Gambia, we have this problem of we don't give chance to the younger ones. We don't really give them chances. This year, Gambia could have used, I can say, maybe 3 or 4 under 20 players from the last World Cup under 20. But the problem is they bring in players. We have to be realistic without clubs and put them on the bench for the 90 minutes they don't play. If I bring a player as a coach, to represent the country without a club, and I say I trust the player, I will not keep him on the bench for 90. Then if I'm 90 minutes, then I don't have to use him. I don't have to call him. I have to give chance to people who get energy on their legs to play, to represent the country. There is a certain player in Gambia called Bajo. I think that guy deserves to be in the national team. So we really have to talk about this, giving chance to young players.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. Did anybody, I don't know, I'm just asking now, did anybody ask the national team coach why he prioritized how he did? Did anybody ask him to explain how he made the choices he did?
I listened to one of their press conference. The press conference in Gambia. What's the name again? The coach was like, yes, the press conference. We all know these journalists are from certain radio stations, but the coach, yes, he said, can I know where these journalists are from and which radio station they're from? Do you think that one is normal?
No, but I was, again, no, that is not normal, and it doesn't matter where they are from, does it? Because if you are clean in heart and clean in everything, the whole world can know what you're saying. I don't care who is listening right now, because I believe in what I say, and I can stand 100% to what I think. But the thing is, I need some constructive, critical questions. If this was in Denmark and the coach of the national team, he had a press conference, there would be journalists asking him, how come you prioritized how you did? Can you please explain to us what kind of thoughts did you have by choosing this player and not this player? Yeah? He would have to explain exactly why he has been doing how he has been doing. And if he cannot explain, then he would kind of show the whole Denmark, expose to the whole Denmark, wow, I'm actually not good enough in this because I cannot even explain my actions. And this is what is lack, because there are nobody in Gambia who dare, I didn't hear it, maybe it has happened, I don't know, but they don't dare to ask, why did you do like you did, Coach Tom? What kind of analysis were behind? What kind of thoughts? How come you choose how you choose? And what will you do next time? What will you do for this not to happen next time? And it is because Gambians are so afraid of being critical. Sometimes when I comment on Instagram, last time there was somebody telling me, why are you so negative? Negative. If there's one thing I am never, then it is negative. I was just realistic. I was realistic, and that has nothing to do with being negative. But just because I don't follow the group and agree does not mean that I'm negative. That means that actually I just had a point of view on something that we have to change. And when they don't like to hear that, they say, why are you so negative? Yes, because negative, we don't all have to run around and be happy and think everything is fine. We have to tell also the things that is not okay. Because otherwise we will just fake ourselves and think that we live in a very, very nice Gambia, everything is fine. No, it is not fine behind the smile. It is not fine behind the fence of the compound. Yeah. I talk in general again, I'm very sorry. It's not, but it's easier for me. Definitely, we have to wake up, because we are only fooling ourselves. Because the reality is the reality. No matter how much we try to convince ourselves that it is different, it is not different, and we are only wasting time. And this is why I'm very direct, and I say, no, I don't want to deal. It's not that I don't want to give the coaches who are very egoistic and selfish and doing it for themselves a chance. But if I can feel that this person, it will take a lifetime to change the mentality of that person, then I don't want to spend time on that. Because I don't have the time for that, and the player does not have the time for that. Huh? I have experience there that made me a little strict, because it has to be that way. We have to speak our mind and say the things the way they are. Otherwise, we are just lying to ourselves, and that brings us nowhere. That brings us nowhere, fams. We know that. Huh? Definitely.
So in the long run, do you think Gambia will still have face the same problems like we are facing if we don't have change?
Yes. It will continue. Look at that. If you do something and if you do something and there's no consequence, then you continue doing it. But if there is a consequence, I can give a small example from my daily life. I was at a training field with a team, and after the training, the coach said, "Hey, one ball is missing," and actually there was one ball missing yesterday also. And they say, "Okay, yeah." The players say, "No response like this." I was just looking, and then the coaches said to each other, maybe we will find it later or tomorrow." I said, no. Stop, guys. All of you. Nobody is leaving the field until these two footballs are found. Even though we have to be here 2, 4, 6 hours, I will sit here with you even until tomorrow. Nobody leaves the field until these two balls are found. You know how long time it took, Fams, to find these two balls?
How many hours?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Because there is that behind.
Hey, yeah, of course the player who kicked them know exactly where they are. But if there is no consequence of your actions, then you keep on doing it because nothing happens. Yeah. Why should I tell them where it is? Because somebody else will do it for me. I don't take responsibility because somebody else is doing it. I hear sometimes people, when I am discussing with somebody, then a third person can come and say, no, Vibeke, you don't understand what he's saying. I say, but I can hear what he's saying. Yeah, but that is not what he means. I say, how can you tell me what he means? Let him speak his mind himself. No, you're not. That's not. He means something else. I say, how can you tell what he's meaning? What his opinion is? Yeah, and this is what I see all the time we keep everything down. And if we do that, then it will be a problem always. It will not disappear. We have to take responsibility. And first of all, fams, the Gambians have to decide, do we want to change or do we not want to change?
Yeah.
If you don't want to change, then just keep on going like it is now. Okay? That's fair. That's fair enough. But if you want to change, you have to make a difference. And you have to start by yourself. We have to start by ourselves. Definitely.
Because everything that gets consequence behind it, there is always development. Because here, I will tell you, yesterday I wanted to send some jerseys to some of my friends. It's like 10 orders from in my room. I parcel everything to send them. So I mistakenly closed my keys inside. So you know what I have to do again? I have to pay for 90 euros for them to open my door. When it's in Gambia, I will take some cutlass to cut the door and take my keys. So now tomorrow, when I want to go out now, I have to check my keys 5 times because I pay 90. There's consequence behind it. Every mistake you need to pay for money. So I don't want to make mistakes. So this is the most important thing. Our politicians and everything out there. If you made a mistake, like for example, you made a mistake of misusing the public fund of 1 million, then they charge you for 2 million. If you don't pay the 2 million, you go to court. Will you love to destroy public money? You will never do that. But there is no Gambian leaders will sleep with 15-year-old girls, and the next day you see them being a minister in the country. They have to be jailed. They have to feel
exactly.
It's not just about football. This is bigger than football. Gambia, everything is lacking. When you go to Bara, this place where these ships are normally the port.
Yes.
You don't even have a proper ship to carry our people. Every day they are risking the life of thousands and thousands of people. But the population will never talk. I live in Germany for now a few years. I have never walked in the state of Germany and saw politicians standing with their crowd saying, vote for me, vote for me. They do everything on TV. They're civilized. But for us, right now, if a politician of APRC or UDP or NPP make a statement online and say, I want to see my fans outside in the afternoon, right now, they will not eat. Gambians will put on their t-shirt, kambal, and they come outside. Disturbing the country. And when it's time for Gambians to wake up, maybe make a peaceful demonstration that, yes, now we need ourselves. We need to understand that Gambia need to change. We need change. None of them will come out. They will say, this kid talked a lot. He talks a lot. And you are speaking the facts. We are controlled by politicians. And now our mentalities have changed to become politicians. We don't care
Exactly.
Gambian care about if I know you, even if you are not at the right path, I will still support you. Look at
Exactly. Because again, it is personal and not the matter. You see, we can take it again now. It is personal and not a matter. It is who you know and not what this person is standing for. And this is the problem. Because if you always follow for personal interests, then you will never develop anything because this person can change the mind and then everything is just changing all the time. No, we need to focus on the matter. We need to focus on the case. We need to focus on the target, no matter who is involved. Only those who fit into that, they can participate in it. But Gambians usually or often again follow the crowd. Yeah, we want to be popular. We don't and sometimes it is also very easy to, that is also the good things about Gambian. It is very easy to impress them and they are happy people and I love it. Yeah, because it's always openness and smiling and positive and everything. But it is that also makes it very easy to impress Gambians.
Yeah.
When they actually deserve more self-respect also. Yeah, what do I actually, what would be okay for me to have? Yeah, not only to give also, but what can I expect actually from the people around me, from my government, from everyone? It is look at that again with the diplomatic passports. Yes, they made a mistake and then we just cover it by that. What happened when the Yahya Jammeh was there? Yeah, he was making the people suffering and starving up country until they were almost like at the end. And then he would bring like big trucks with a lot of food and come at the same time as the one doing all this, causing all this, coming as the man saving them. And this is the tricks that is played. Yeah, that is, we put them under so bad conditions, and when the conditions are so bad, we comes as the savior. We comes as the savior. So they have two. What is it called? They have two caps. Yeah. First, we make sure that everything is very bad, and then we come as the one who is saving everything. Yeah. No, we should not let ourselves fooled by that. It's not okay. Take your diplomatic passports, take your everything, take your rice, take your everything. If you cannot give me every day, then don't come once a year and give me. So it is about also expecting something. And not just be like, wow, what wonderful. Now we forget everything. Now we got a diplomatic passport. What is a diplomatic passport compared to being put in the bag on a picture or not being paid your bonus or being suffering from lack of oxygen? No.
Like giving me a car that I can't drive, like giving me a car without an engine in the house. It's useless. It will never take me for work or cook for me. So at the end of the day, like you said, Gambians are easy to satisfy. Gambian will be crying today. And there is something that people told me, why don't you post the picture of Adam Barrow? Somebody texted me, this politician mindset, after paying for the flight for the Gambians. I asked the guy, I said, will I want people to thank me? For example, when I have a kid or when I have a wife, I bought my wife a new telephone or iPhone, I give it to my wife. Will I expect people outside to thank me? That is my job, to help my kids. It's my responsibility.
Hey, let me ask you one thing first, Fams. Who was responsible at the beginning to pay for that flight? I don't know. Will you please answer me? Do you know?
For me, I think it's a collaboration with the government and the federation.
Okay, then how can anybody be surprised and thank the president for doing something he should have done in the first place?
I will never post it. I told him I will never.
Thank you. Thank you.
For doing their job.
Again, you see, this is again, actually, if it is the government and the federation who has to provide them a good flight, yeah, then they have to do it. They are not doing it. They are making bad things, and then they come as a savior again. No. What is expected, what I expect from you, I should not, I can appreciate you, but I should not make it something special because this is something I expect from you, Frans. And this is, it is very good example.
What they use, they understand the mindset of Gambians, so they use everything in political way. They know some of the people will call the president and tell him, if you pay for this flight right now, you will be in the hearts of thousands of Gambians. because right now,
Yes.
because they understand. But if you keep quiet, thousands of Gambians will set their back on you. And so this is the thing. So once the flight was settled, each and every Gambian forget about what happens. And now, if we do that, we're not helping ourselves. We're just killing the millions of people in Gambia.
I don't know any Gambian, and I know a lot of Gambians. I do not know any Gambian who does not think that it is hard living in Gambia. They all think that the conditions are very, very hard. But still, they don't demand anything for their own happiness, you see? And that means that they are still accepting that they have to suffer. And now we are back again to some of the things we talked to before. They are raised in a culture where suffering actually means that you will benefit from it later. So I think that has something also influence on the tolerance of the Gambian people, because they believe in, some say it is the Quran, some say it is the culture, that they believe the more suffer they go through, the more they tolerate, the more everything, the more they will be appreciated, by Allah. And I think that is also maybe a reason that they tolerate more things. But definitely, I don't think it says anywhere in the Quran, I don't know, but I don't think it says anywhere in the Quran that there should be no development and that you don't have to be like constructively critical, because that does not mean being mean and wicked. This is just an interest. And again, focus on the matter. And not the persons and the people behind. It's very interesting, definitely. Very interesting.
It's crazy. We can talk here till tomorrow. We will not finish the problems of Gambia. I think, like you say, we need the mindset of people to change. If the mindsets don't change, we're gonna stuck forever. It's gonna be difficult for us.
Yes, I want again now, because right now I have to confront you now also with the mental coaching. Right now you are taking the responsibility. Let's put it out to the Gambian people and ask them, do you want a change? And if you want a change, what will you do to make that change? Because otherwise we will just be a few pioneers running all this here, and everybody will just be following if they can benefit, not following if they cannot benefit. No, we have to waken up, fams. The responsibility in each and one, like I do in the football players on the team. Do you want this or don't you want this? Do you want to stay in the first league or do you want to go down in the second league? Just tell me. If you want to stay in the first league, it's your responsibility to stay here. If you don't and you go down in the second league, it's okay. That is your choice. It's not for me you're doing it. You're doing it for yourself. So I think I would like every single Gambian to ask themselves the questions. Do we want a change or don't we want? And both answers are okay. Those who say no, we don't want a change is okay with me. And those who say they want a change is okay with me. But then take responsibility yourself. If you are somebody in Gambia who wants to make a difference, then at least you know two people now who also want a difference. That is FAMS and that is me. I mentioned Kaba. We know a lot of other people. I have a group of coaches also in Gambia that I selected because they also want to make a difference. Yes. So all of a sudden we are 20. And if you people decide you also want to make a change, then join us, but make a decision yourself. Definitely. It's your responsibility. We are here. We are already doing it, fams. Those who want to join, they have to make the move themselves.
True. Important. You speak for the change. You don't keep it in your heart. You have to come out and speak about it, because
you have to talk about it. And I also think now, I feel a lot that we are not satisfied and many are not satisfied, and we already know that. So I want to say again, please, let's take the next step. How can we make it better? How can we make it better? So we want suggestions now. How can we make a better GFF? How can we make better conditions for the national team? How can we make it easier for the lamins in the compound? How can we make it is everything in Gambia? How can we make it better for the young people in Gambia? How can we make it better? Not leaning back and say, how can the government? No, Gambians are the population. Yeah, The young people are the future of Gambia. What kind of country do you want to develop for your kids? What kind of country do you want your children to grow up in? Huh? The responsibility is here, and just start going out of your comfort zone, please. It is not that dangerous as you think, and I should be the first to, and you also, Fams, you're also not scared of speaking your mind, to tell those GFF members it's not okay to block the comments unless they are so rude and so discriminating. Then you can do it. That would happen in Denmark too, you know. But if it is a different opinion, no, it's okay. You have to be capable of taking in critics also. It's part of life. It is like that. It is like that, definitely. So
critics makes you develop. If you're a smart person, you have to listen to people who are having a different mindset as you. You can use those things from the comment section and work on yourself. For example, if GFF members take a picture of players and it's not clear, and I make a video about it, and the next they saw my comment, but the quality of the videos are not okay, then they have to work on their cameras, or they have to work on their cameraman. So, you know, I help you to develop without even hate or whatever, but I just bring my mindset to your comment section. So it's important, but I think these people don't really care about the people, because normally the way they speak is all, I don't care. If you listen to their interviews, they always speak about, like, we don't really care, because they knew if the election happens, they will still win, because all these first division teams are bought by them right now. You know, so it's going to be difficult.
Exactly. I would like to ask them some questions, because when you say now, I don't think they even care. I would like to ask the GFF members in public, in an interview, do you care? And if they say, yes, I care, then I would say, okay, then explain to me, give me some examples that your actions actually showed that you care. Please let me hear. The responsibility is theirs to tell what they are doing, not just speaking empty words. Hey, you have to put something behind. And we need some people who dare to ask them, what did you do for the national team in this AFCON? Mr. Kababajo, what did you do? Just mention 3 things, Mr. Kababajo, that you did for the national team for this AFCON. Not for yourself, not for any of the staff. What did you do to make it good for the national team? Just 3 things. I would like that. I would like to hear just 3 things. And this is how it is, Fams, asking questions. What did you do? Instead of us all the time telling us, you're not doing good enough, you're not doing good enough, twist it around and ask them themselves, what is your opinion about your own effort? I do that with the football players also. Yeah, the referee was this and that. I say, and what do you think about your own performance? What did you do good, and what can you do better? How will you make a change next time? And the same is here. Are you satisfied with yourself, Mr. President of GFF? Yes, I am. Good. Then name me 3 things that makes you to be satisfied with yourself. I would like to hear 3 things that can make you be satisfied with yourself. Let them explain themselves how good they are. And if they are good, then they can stay. If they cannot name these 3 things, then we better have to look for somebody else who can at least mention 3 things they did good. That's my opinion. We have to ask questions. We have to demand something from the people that are represented.
Governing body leader, as a leader in the country, you know, you shouldn't find it difficult. If you think you are really working hard, you shouldn't find it difficult to say 2 things that you did for Gambia. And right now, Gambia, I'm not even talking about the stadium. We don't really have a proper standard, normal pitch in Gambia, where you can bring somebody, a visitor from any part of the world, to come play football with, or a professional team. Right now, if I want to bring a professional team to Gambia to play football, where are we going to play?
Exactly. And then that is true. And another thing I was just thinking about now, it is, I know maybe it's comparing different things, but still, in Gambia, the man of the match is always, or very often, the goal scorer. In Denmark, the man of the match is very often the one who assists. Yeah. You see? So it is all about changing the mindset to it is those who assist. So if GFF could take that one, and then they could say, okay, if we want to be the heroes, then we actually have to assist our national team as much as we can. Not for them to win and be the heroes, but for us to assist them to win, to be the heroes. And it seems like they don't really get that one, you see, because here in Gambia, people think it's only the goal scorer. No, how did the ball end to the one scoring the goal? How did the national team end up winning everything? Because they have everything behind them. And now we are back again to the families, yeah? How can a Lamin feel good and have a nice life? Because he feels like he has the whole family behind him. And this is what it is lack of in Gambia, and it is everywhere. How can the president be a good president? Because he has the whole country behind him. I don't know if you saw on my status, we just have a king in Denmark, our queen. She handed over the throne to her son, Frederik. I was in Copenhagen. There were 300,000 people in the middle of Copenhagen. 300,000 people. I tell you, that is a lot of people. I was there among them. Our queen is driving in kind of a wagon with glass and a horse in front, only with 4 bodyguards running next to. No, no guns, no nothing. Huh? Through 300,000 people who are standing there with a flag, yeah, waving her, thanking her for all the good she did for Denmark, for representing us out in the world, for always being behind us, for putting up subjects that we have to take good care of the handicapped people, the foreigners in the country, always advising us doing something good. She handed over the throne to the crown prince, who became the king. He went on the balcony, and people went crazy, because we love him so much, because we know that he will do whatever he can for us, and we are behind him. And this is the same spirit I miss in Gambia. Don't see your head of a country like somebody you have to fear, or you have to belittle yourself in front of. Just stand together. And this spirit that is here in the Danish society, that is some of the things I miss, even though I like living a lot in Gambia. But that is what we like in Gambia, yeah? Standing together, sacrifice, GFF, yourself for the team, yeah? Sacrifice, president and the government, yourself for the population of Gambia. Sacrifice yourself, even though that will be the last thing you do. Do it because you do it for something good, yeah? So this is the angle I would like people to have, instead of saying, what can I benefit from it? No, I'm here for my own sake. Hey, we should not be anywhere for our own sake. We should be there, and we should be ready to sacrifice ourselves for a case. This is where changes come. This is where changes come. And they will actually see our queen, she sacrificed herself for Denmark. The king will sacrifice himself for Denmark. And even though they do that, they are our heroes. Because that is exactly what makes them our heroes. That they are willing to sacrifice themselves, you know? So, yeah, that is...
But you mentioned something about the handicaps. We have a big problem about this in Gambia. You know, I do spoke with some people, the amputee team in Gambia national team. They already qualified for the AFCON in Egypt, the Gambian amputee team. But they contacted me that they even find it difficult to get these crutches for football. And with one of my friends, we also have a lot of crutches here that we manage for them. They told me, can you imagine the people who are leading us? We amputees, we don't have legs, some may don't have hands. Their building is maybe 4th floor. So, and they don't have a plan of us climbing on those, you know, to go up. We find it difficult. He said, you know, I think Gambia, they don't accept us. You know, I even wanted to connect you with the boy. The boy is very brilliant. And, you know, his accident, you know, came, he said his mother explained to him, he was very young at that time. Like, he was playing outside, and the government vehicle, I think the GRA vehicle, hit the boy. And after hitting the boy, you know, they did not take care of the boy. The boy, you know, almost, and then his legs, I don't know, it turned to cancer or whatever. So they brought him to Germany. You know, I told him, did the government brought you to Germany? He said, no, my brothers, you know, put money together to bring me to Germany. So when I came to Germany, the doctors checked my legs, and they said, no, I you know, they have to cut it. If not, you know, it will go to my lungs and I might die. So at the end of the day, but the boy is a very brilliant guy. He speaks good. and he speaks very, very, very nice, and he's very humble. But I think people like him, we need those people on platforms to speak their minds and show appreciation to, for Gambians to understand, because this is what we need in Gambia. We need to give right to the people. We need to give the voice for people to speak their minds. But those people, Gambia, when you're handicapped, your family members will give a cup to one of your little sister to go outside for you to go ask people for charity. And this is not, we don't
exactly, and they will take advantage of it actually. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, but I think, Farms, now that we talk about solutions, I think that will be on the budget for the next GFF year. That there has to be on the budget in GFF money for the people who are amputated, isn't it? Because they are equal worth than anybody else. They are worth as much as the national team, isn't it? Because that is the national team for this amputated. So I think that could be a suggestion now, that this will be put on the budget.
Yeah, these people don't really know this guy. These guys, when they are even they played. The boy told me this amputee team we started way before Senegal, and then he told me Senegal saw this idea from us, and they now also start doing it. He told me, and they played against Senegal the last 2 months, and they won Senegal home and away. But he told me that now go to Senegal, they have their own pages for amputee people because of the lack of management. The running the Senegal football body is, the people who understand football, their own people, the people also, not just your own people, but the people who will work for the country, for the benefit of the country, not to save their job. Some of the people working in Gambia, they just work in there to save the job of their jobs. So they don't really care to give chance to other people. That's why we have this of Gambia from last year. We have a very good AFCON. But why can't we sell players? Because we select players that are aging 30 years, 35 years. Yesterday, we learned the lesson from Senegal. A kid from 19-year-old came score, said, beautiful goals, that you can't stop him. He's agile, he's moving everywhere because he's young. Football is for young people. Gambians have to understand this. But when you speak, Gambians, we have this attitude in us that, me, I'm so emotional when it comes to football. I play football, and certain people are here, I promote them. When you put me in the pitch with them, I'm better than them. I'm not going to even lie. But right now, I'm not healthy. I'm not playing football. So what I can do for my country is to use my voice. When I last year, I almost played professional football. But if I play football right last year, I'm not sure I'll be useful to my country like I am right now. Because when I put videos on the media, a lot of boys will come to me. Some of them, they're even older than me. Some I'm older than them. They learn from me. So we have a lot of, so that's why when they say sometimes we need our ex-players. Yes, we need our ex-players. But how many of our ex-players are making efforts for people to know? The kids will, right now, Isarna, Kaba, those people, Baba Demba and all those people, the kids see their videos, they know, oh, this guy was a Gambian player. Because by then, Gambians will never make a show of Musa Barrow in the TVs. Gambia, you can walk from end to end, you will never see a picture, an appreciation picture of Yankuba Minte becoming one of the best young players in Africa. They're never going to post it. But me as a Gambian player, what do you think I will feel when I come from the airport? After the airport, I see a big poster of me, Musa Barrow, we love you. I will feel happy for my country. I will do whatever I can do for this country to die. But we prefer posting people. Gambian prefer, yes, I know Sadio Mane is a legend. I love Sadio Mane, really. But why will I give advertisement as government money to Sadio Mane Africell than giving to Yankuba Minteh or Adam Abojan to put these pictures on the flyers? So we don't believe in ourselves. We don't have self-confidence in ourselves. That's why we're still behind. And our mentality needs to change. Me, I don't really care. If the Gambians want, let them hate me. If they want, let them like me. I don't really care. I will speak my mind, and I will make sure the most important thing is to be respectful. This is what I know.
Exactly.
So
and they cannot hate you because you are a good person, but they can disagree with you on your opinion. And if they hate you, it's not about you. It is actually they don't like to see the reflection that they see in you. This is, everything comes back to ourselves. Actually, you cannot hate another person unless they do very bad things and harm you. But often we don't like people because actually we see something in them that we do not like to see reflected back on us. So that is another thing, psychological thing. I agree with you, and it is self-respect again. It is self-respect, it's lack of self-respect. And it is also about, very important when you say about these elders, it is like, Gambians think that the elders, they have to carry Gambia until they die. They even can decide over their 60-year-old son. A mother, 80-year-old, she can still make decisions over a man, her son, 60 years. I was shocked when I came to Gambia first. I was like, hey, when my sons were 18 years old, I have nothing to tell them anymore. They are adults now, and that means, of course, I can give them advice, but they don't have to listen to me. They have their freedom to do and think and make whatever they want to do. But in Gambia, it is as if it is the old and the elders who have to carry it. No, come on, please, the elders of Gambia, hand it over to the young ones. Huh? The young ones, they live in, time has changed. We cannot keep on doing it like the elders did it. Many Gambians, they tell me, but Vibeke, this is how we came and found it.
No.
I say, yes, maybe this is how you found it, but nobody told you that you have to leave it like that because you can make a change. They say, no, you don't understand. This is our culture, because if we don't do it like we found it, then our elders will feel disrespected. No, we have to also develop the elders to give the space for the young ones and say, hey, we lived in a time where this and this was okay. Now there's a new time. There are 10-year-old kids, FAMs, in Denmark. They know more about technology than I will ever do in my life, because of development. And I have to leave it, and I cannot come and say, no, I want Denmark to be the way it was when I was a child. No way, that does not make sense, does it? But this is the same in football. No, we owe this old man this because he has done so much for Gambian football. Yes, thank you very much for everything you did to Gambian football. Now leave the scene and let somebody else come in, please. This is somebody who respects himself. It's like an artist, a singer, or a football player. Sometimes you tell the football player, maybe he should have stopped 1 year earlier, because then we would remember him when he was on the top. But he didn't want to step down, so actually the reputation did not get that good. It is all about knowing when your time is and when your time is over, and then be satisfied with that. So definitely, they should leave the scene for the young ones. And maybe that would also encourage FAMs, the young ones, to feel that they are something. How is it to grow up in a country as a young kid? They expect you to come home with the money to the compound. At the same time, you cannot make your own decisions, and the elders will tell you what to do and what to not to do, what to think, what not to think. If I try and put myself into that situation, that would be difficult and pretty confusing for me, because on one side they want this, on the other side I'm tied up, and they get stressed, and of course they take the back way. I'm sorry, guys, but what should they do? They are desperate, and they are dying. Come on. Come on. No.
It's all based on putting the people at the right place, because 20 years ago, people, the way they think and the way we think is different.
Thank you.
20 years ago, the way football is played, and now it's different. So you can't put Maradona to teach us football right now. It's going to be difficult for us to understand him. You have to put, because Maradona will tell me, you don't have to go to party, you don't have to put nice dresses, because we don't put this. That's why the mentality, you put the right people with maybe with not similar age, but who understand how the modern things work. This federation.
But still, they don't. Then they can. But still, the football players cannot go party. They have to go to bed early and not be on social media.
The players, like when you go to England, the Sanchos, all these players, yes, they have their own lifestyles. But a proper coach, what will you say? You can tell a player, I don't care about your personal life. This is your personal life. But make sure you deliver on the pitch. Yeah. But you
exactly
a player that tomorrow you don't have to go to club. If you go to club, I will bench you. Then you're giving him pressure. You're giving him problems. But when you tell the player, it's your personal problem. But make sure when you come to the pitch, perform. The player will die for you. He will know that this guy gives me my rights, and he will play. But our federation right now, I will tell you one thing. They give all these diplomatic passports and these last-minute money things, and they solve everything. This is not a good sign for us. This is like the federation are sending a message to Gambian population that they're losing out of energy. They're losing out of ideas. They lose money to run this federation. In the long run, Gambia will have big problems. And if this, these funds from other countries don't come, I promise you, Gambia will not even have money to camp. We don't have money.
But Frans, that is true. But first of all, I would like to hear where is all the money that already came in?
Because there is no transparency in Gambian football.
I would like to know where are all the millions of dollars that already came.
Okay, right?
Where is it used for what? And then you cannot even afford to buy to book a flight, a good flight for the national team. I don't see these 14 pitches anywhere. I see a FIFA Gold project that looks like I don't know what. I see a Serekunda East that is like I don't know what. I don't know what to say. You see, so definitely, I don't say that. I don't even want to tell what. I just want to know. I just want to know where is the money already now. And
these questions. We don't have journalists who are ready to ask these questions. We have journalists who are under these people. The QTVs, all these GRTS, they're all controlled by these people. You will say what they want to say. We don't have any platform in Gambia that speaks about football that are ready to speak for the rights of the footballers.
No, so, exactly. And that's true. That's true. But another thing is also in Gambia, you can buy everything.
Yes, you can
buy everything. You can buy a driving license. You can buy a bachelor certificate. Even though you're married to 4 women, you can buy anything. And that means that things are not authentic. Again, it is just like a fake world that is built up. And if people do not dare to step out of that and sacrifice themselves for speaking their opinion, then it is a problem. My motto in life is always, you have to dare to lose the ground under you for a case or a target, otherwise you will lose yourself. And I know exactly what I want. I do not want to lose myself, but I feel like Gambians are losing themselves. They are not happy, like I told you. I know so many Gambians, they feel like, no, this is not nice, we put on the smile, but definitely Gambia is not easy, Africa is not easy. No, it is not, because you're losing yourself, Gambians. If you keep on following the stream and not stand up for your own rights, for your own values, dare to speak your mind, then you're losing yourself and you get unhappy. Definitely, even though you're smiling, sometimes I can see inside their hearts are crying. So it is.
So
it is about self-respect also.
Gambia is all based on the political. The leaders and the people who get a little bit of wealth from the Gambia, they all connected together. They help each other to lie, to back each other. So when you sit with the Gambian, as a Gambian, you don't need to tell him who are you. Just speak with him. When he knows your mentality, he knows this guy don't want corruption. This guy want the right things. He will distance himself from you. You can call him and say, let's meet 2 o'clock. You yourself, our people, they call the diplomats in football. You will call them and say, let's meet 5 o'clock. They will come 7 o'clock. Why is the diplomacy in that guy's way of living? As a diplomat, we have to know, we have to see it in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you run the federation. You don't even have to say I'm a diplomat. People have to see it in you.
Exactly. You have to show it. You have to show it by actions, not by talking.
So that's why me any day I go to Gambia, I think I would be the most hated boy in the country because I don't really care. My mentality changed. I don't think like Gambians anymore. And I don't want to think like them because if you think like Gambian, you only based on corruption. You're gonna be corrupt forever.
Yes, many cases it is like that, and I think it is because, and I understand you, but we also have to think about how did it come that far, and if you are, I have as an example, it's like the teams. Well, we can talk about Marabu and Juju now in Gambian football. I'm surprised how much it is actually in there. It is this group pressure. I know people, players who do not actually like to do it and they don't want to do it, but because of the pressure, they will still do it. And this is a main thing for Gambians often, that they follow the crowd. Yeah. And if you grow up, many of the young people, they grew up under Yahya Jammeh times also. And they know that you don't have the freedom to speak your mind, and there is a danger if you do things, the consequence of it can be too big, So actually, I don't say it is an excuse, but maybe it is an explanation why they just follow the stream, because it is very, very difficult to break that one. because they will really, really make it very hard for you if you are not following. We see these, there are these people who are mentally not there, walking around on the streets in Gambia, and people say, they put marabu on them. No, come on. They are abandoned, many of them, by their families because they came back from Europe and they did not succeed the way the families wanted them to succeed. And they are abandoned. How would you feel if you are living in a compound? They don't cook for you, they don't talk to you, they don't give you anywhere to sleep, they do as if you are air, they do not even registrate you, you are just like pushed outside. Everybody would feel something. Even you, Fams, even me, we get strange in our head like that. And then you say it is marabu? No, I don't believe that. This is the way people treat each other when you go outside a group. And that is threatening. Of course, it's scary because who dare to take that step out if you don't know if somebody will come arrest you tomorrow or do things like that, So actually, I don't think that they will hate you. I don't think they will hate you, but you are just speaking, or we are speaking the things that many of them know, but they are scared of doing it because they still did not see enough examples of things going well. They still remember too many of examples of a big consequence being blocked, being excluded, television stations being closed down, tear gas when you want to demonstrate peacefully. They have to see more good examples of how we can actually do it. And this is by teaching how to debate in a constructive way. Because of course, if you have a lot of angry demonstrants, then the police get scared and they say it's out of our control, so we have to use tear gas. But if they learn how to demonstrate very peacefully just by speaking their mind, then the police will also calm down and everything will come down on a level where we can all control it. That's my belief.
Did you think football needs a peaceful demonstration if you're not happy with the federation? Or you think people will not disagree with that?
I don't know if I'm not a person who is that much fond of demonstrations. I think more what we need is more people to think about what do we actually want? What is our wish? What is our wish for GFF in future? If we just have to start with that. What is our wish for the future national coach? Even if it is Tom or somebody else, I don't care. Which qualifications do we actually expect? What are our wish? This is what I want. And I want it to be like a debate, not only on this social media, but as I say, I love discussing in the compounds. Anywhere there are people gathered, try whenever you discuss, try and not keep on telling each other how bad it is. We all know how bad it is. Try instead and come up with suggestions how we can make it better. Come up with ideas how to change it. That is more what I want, because the demonstration is actually showing there's something we don't like. We all know that, Frans. We know we don't like it. But let us come up with ideas to how we can change it, how we can make it better. I will start myself writing down what could be a suggestion. And if we all do that, that would be a bunch of good ideas that we can all put together. So instead of a demonstration, I would really like a platform online where people can write their suggestions. How can we make Gambian football better? Let's stay focused on the positive, the difference we want, not what we don't want. Let us focus on what we want in future.
It's really crazy, but I think I also have time I have to solve some problems. So I will leave the live now, and then we'll try to do it again because it's very interesting. I think people love it. So it could be even better when we have a TikTok account. I think TikTok, almost 300 people watch me there, or 400 sometimes. So it's going to be more interesting because this page is new, but alhamdulillah, we get a few people watching, almost 60 to 35, 60, 70 to 35. So it's really good. I think people learn a lot from you. I personally learn a lot from you.
Thank you.
Very We need more
Likewise.
people. We don't care the Tubabla or Gambian. We really care the mindset. If the mindset mentality is Gambian mentality, we don't care to work with you. You understand? Because we want peace. So we're not that type of racist mindset to think about Sawaji Tubabla Kinina. Because I know you know my culture even more than me. So I feel like you are part of us. And
thank you so much. I feel that too. and I have to say, Gambians always treat me like that. I never experienced anything like any worse. No. I'm always respected there. Definitely, I am.
We are easy to satisfy. You can beat a Gambian today, the next day when you call him, hey boy, how are you? You buy one half of bread for him. He say, this guy is a good guy. He forget about what passed. So we have to change that now. Yes, we can easily, maybe forget about something, but deep inside we need to keep it in our brain, and we need to start speaking, because if you don't speak, the people who are the leaders will feel comfortable in where they are.
Thank you very much, Fams. That's very true.
I personally, and the people also have to support me. If I make a video or you make a video and drop it, we just get 2 comments, 1 comment. You think the Federation people, they will be on media and think, this Phillies guy, when he make video, he get 2 likes and 2 comments. So the people don't really care about what he's saying. And I'm speaking your voice because you are scared to speak. I use your voice, guide all your ideas together, and come to the media. I don't care how many people hate me. But when I speak, make my video go viral. Make my video people see it. Make my video the Federation feel uncomfortable on where they are. But in Gambia,
exactly,
the most curious person, or a person who speak the fact, is the most hated person in the community in where we're from. So, and most of them, they hate you. This is the thing. But I don't really care about how many people. I rather care about if 3 people likes what I do. I don't care if the 1,000 people don't care.
Exactly, and I think next time when we go online, we have to talk about this hating each other and not hating, because actually it has nothing to do with that. We have to change that mindset. This is about opinions and matters. It is not about persons. Okay, this is very important that Gambians learn how to separate these 2 things. Yeah, because having an opinion and having a personality, if I speak my mind about something that I guess you find me sympathetic, isn't it, Fams? Right now? Yes. So that means if I say something now that you totally disagree with, something that really upsets you, will you change and think that I'm not sympathetic anymore? Okay. So I'm still the same sympathetic Vibeke, no matter what my opinion is, isn't it? Thank you very, very much. This is how we discuss. And this is the difference. So you cannot hate me because I say something that you don't like to hear, because I'm still the same person. I'm still the same good-hearted person that you know before I made that statement. So this is also what is threatening the Gambians' possibility to debate, because they are so scared of being called names, and Gambians can be so hard on each other, even on a football team. Yeah, they can be really, and they say it in a funny way, but these words are hurting. They are hurting so much, and that actually makes you not act that way next time. Maybe you're laughing and say, yeah, it was just for fun. But still, if you feel hurt, that will change our attitude. And that is our unconsciousness doing that. So we can talk about that next time. Would be very interesting. Actually, how does it influence on our mentality and our actions, what we are put through from each other?
We will definitely do that. I hope we stick together with the good people with the good mindset, and inshallah, God will help us to make change, because you can see from the eyes of the people on the Federation, they worried now. They know the people are tired. So at the end of the day, maybe we're gonna have a good news that they have to step and then give chance to the new people. So anyway, thanks for your time. I have to go now.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you.
Bless
bye.
You.
Yeah.